Hi, everybody. Welcome to my homestead and welcome to my channel. My name is Jared. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I actually was not going to make a video today, but then I woke up and I checked social media. I checked X, and I saw the disaster that was the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. And so here we are. I got to make a video about it. It was sadly reminiscent of the Olympics earlier this year in Paris. Specifically, one of the performances, which is just like, this is becoming just commonplace at this point. So this video later on may not be the best video to have on if you have children in the room. I'm just going to show like a picture of the performance. So just be aware that that's coming up, later on. But let's start out with something happy. This was our turkey, Elaine. It's been a while since we've had animals because we sold them all because we're getting ready to move. Hopefully next year we want to move. We currently live in Kansas. If you don't know, if you're new to the channel, we're wanting to move up to the Kansas City area in Missouri, be closer to the church sites. I hope it happens next year. I don't know if it's going to. We have a lot of stuff that we have to fix up here with our house and the homestead. We got to get a new septic system, which is going to be expensive. So we sold all the animals to kind of save some of that money. But we did have a lot of, we did have a lot of animals. We had this turkey, Elaine. She was very sweet. We miss her. She would follow you wherever you went on the homestead. This was me one day. Me and Jenica, we had to work on a fence and fix some stuff, and she would just follow us around and just stay with us as we were working. And so we had to get this video of her, but she would do this every single day. Anyway, and then we also had these turkeys. The idea was that for Thanksgiving we wanted to process our own turkeys. And so we bought these guys, and it never happened. We ended up selling them. It just never happened. We've, butchered or processed chickens before, but we never got to turkey. So maybe someday in the future, but I love these two. They're just so, I don't know, just majestic. I love it when they fan their feathers like that. They were a lot more skittish. Anyway, okay, so the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, what are we going to be looking at? So it was cold and it was rainy. We're going to go through some of these posts. He had the protesters, of course, disrupting the parade and the ensuing arrest of those protesters, and then horrible displays like this. I realize that this is like for a Broadway production. I get it. You have all this pop culture stuff in the parade, but if you wouldn't know better, you'd say that you're looking at a Halloween parade. And then here it is. Here's the wonderful performance, just like the one that we had for the Paris Olympics. So we'll get back to those in just a minute. It's interesting because Daily Mail put out an article. When in the search results, the title says "Saddest Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade as Rain Drives ... But I think they changed the name because now it's Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade descends into chaos as protesters block route and rain keeps crowds away. So I took note of this because it seems to fit a pattern this year. This is my spreadsheet called Signs United States, where, my earliest one that I have on here is actually from the beginning of 2021 with the last elections, what happened on that day. But there's just been a whole flurry of what seem to be signs that are not so good for the United States, like United States specific signs. So for example, I've been talking a lot about this one over the last couple months, how back in November of 2022, it was national elections, not for the presidency, but for Congress. We had the first in this nation's history, the first ever election day blood moon lunar eclipse. So I felt like that was not a good sign. Fast forward to 2024, you may remember there was the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse in Baltimore, which is not very far from Washington, D.C. Francis Scott Key is the one that wrote the lyrics to the national anthem. So probably not a good sign. You had this picture taken of lightning striking the Statue of Liberty. I'm not going to pull that up right now. And yes, it gets hit by lightning all the time, but catching it on camera is much more rare. And usually it affects people that see it. That's the point of a sign, is it's a way of communication. It's a way that the Lord puts ideas or thoughts or emotions into your mind. So it doesn't have to be magic. It doesn't have to be spectacular necessarily. It's just a way of communicating to you. In this case, with the United States, maybe things are not going so well. We're on a very bad path. So you had this picture that was caught, and then 2 days later, there was a rare earthquake in northern New Jersey that shook New York City, including the Statue of Liberty. So you have these two Statue of Liberty events just a couple days apart. And then you had this happen. I'm not going to read it out loud, but you can read it just because I don't know with YouTube sometimes. And then just a little while later, Washington, D.C., this was part of this tornado outbreak that started in Utah in the Salt Lake Valley. Rare tornadoes sweep through the Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia regions. This is the first time the local office of the National Weather Service has ever issued a PDS tornado warning, which is particularly dangerous situation. PDS tornado warning for Montgomery County. And then we had this wax sculpture that was in Washington, D.C. that kept melting because of the heat, and it was pretty dramatic looking. I have the links if you want to check this out for yourself. You can access my spreadsheets. The link is in the description box of each video, and then my references are over here to the right. Okay. Anyway, there's just been a bunch of stuff. I'm not going to read the rest of it, but I'm going to go ahead and add this to the list. Just this sad, depressing Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, which if you're outside of the United States, I don't know, your sense of things, but this is a pretty big deal here. It's like a national tradition. It's the biggest parade on Thanksgiving Day. I believe it's broadcast nationwide. And so for a lot of us, it's a tradition. I grew up watching this every Thanksgiving. We would put it on in the morning. And I don't know. I feel like something is being communicated here. I think it goes beyond just the parade. Dozens of protesters attempting to block the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade were arrested as it kicked off with pouring rain and frigid temperatures driving away crowds. At least 21 anti-Israel protesters were arrested after trying to disrupt the parade at West 55th Street and 6th Avenue, reported WABC. And this is the second year in a row, so it's not the first time that this happened. As would be expected, because, this would have started happening after the war started. Crowds booed at the protesters wearing rain ponchos and holding Palestine flags as cops quickly swarmed them and moved them off the route. Yeah, so let's see. So here's what that looked like. And it's funny that in this picture, the biggest clowns that I see are actually right here. Having their little moment of fame, because I guarantee that's what a lot of them do it for. I'm not going to go into detail. I've talked about this before on the channel, but these people that engage in this just outrageous behavior, some of them probably really do feel strongly enough to do this. Others, I'm not so sure. I think that there's a lot of people that just flock to chaos wherever it may be, and they take advantage of the situation. They just want to feel alive, or they want to show off for friends. Look, I got arrested during the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and post it on their Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Some people, they're just lost in life. They're looking for a cause. And so They may get duped into things like this, but whatever the case, this is what happened during this national tradition that we have on Thanksgiving Day, and it's sad to see. Okay, continuing. The annual holiday tradition started at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time as a low-pressure system moved through the area, bringing wind, rain, and plunging temperatures, according to the National Weather Service. Fox Weather forecasts up to an inch of rain with temperatures in the upper 40s Fahrenheit, of course, and winds around 10 miles per hour. So, yeah, that's depressing. The parade airs on NBC with host Savannah Guthrie, Hoda Kotb, and Al Roker, and streams on the network's Peacock service. Rocker was seen interviewing miserable parade goers sitting on cold bleachers attempting to stay dry, as Guthrie and Kotb proved that they can smile through the rain as the pair kicked off proceedings while hiding beneath a tent. Let's see. I think I have a thing about that. This is on X, Scholar Metals. They look defeated. We know they are an irrelevant joke. They know this Macy's parade is a joke and a money grab. As a kid, I used to love watching this. Now it turns my stomach. It is so phony and self-serving. Yeah, I think I would tend to agree with that. I don't know. There's so many things I can't really stand nowadays that before I could. I don't know if it's because I was younger. I have no idea. But yeah, things just feel so phony nowadays. Okay. As millions of Americans tuned in to watch the parade from the warmth of their homes, they noted the lacking crowds and dampening performances. I'm going to start cooking because the Macy's Day Parade is sad, one person said on X. The phrase "don't rain on my parade" was coined specifically for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, said another. It's funny because that's what it actually says in this post. I guess this is the official Wednesday Addams account. It has like the little Netflix symbol right there. And the post says, I will always rain on your parade. Yeah. Okay. Continuing. Macy's Day Parade, totally gray and sad affair, said another person. Later on, you can tell it hasn't rained on the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in a while because everyone, including the NBC hosts, are trying to keep their smiles. Let's go back to that picture. I feel like you can kind of see it in their eyes. I mean, whenever you pause a video, you can get some pretty wild facial expressions, but I feel like you can see it in their eyes in this one. Okay. And I think that's it. Yeah. And then that brings us to, this horrible thing right here. Let's see. John Cremians USA. Remember when Macy's Thanksgiving Parade wasn't full of drag queens and men in dresses? In The Death Becomes Her Broadway play, is The Death Becomes Her Broadway play a drag show? Why am I even asking these questions during a family-friendly event? Macy's couldn't wait 35 minutes before featuring this? No, they couldn't. Any big, thing where you have lots of viewers, they always have to insert this stuff nowadays. And I feel like it's a sign of the times. Let's not look at it too much. Let's go back to Elaine. So yeah, I feel like it's a sign of the times, man-made signs, like because of wickedness. And in the case of the weather, maybe a sign from the Lord, I mean, a lot of people are taking note of how this parade went and, the role that the weather and the temperature played in the parade. There's probably a lot of people that see it the same way that I'm talking about right now, that, maybe this is a bigger sign and symbol of the state of the United States and the world on a day where we're supposed to be celebrating, and we are, but just things have gotten so bad. Just so bad. Okay. Well, anyway, let's end this on a positive note. I'm thankful for all you guys, and I'm thankful for your support. I'm thankful that I've been a member of the church my entire life. It's been a blessing to me. I'm grateful that I live here in the United States. In my opinion, the most amazing nation in the world, and a land full of opportunity and good things. It's a good place to live. The Lord, he was in the making of this country so that the church could be restored. And so it's an honor and a privilege to have grown up here. And I'm thankful for my family, because life just wouldn't be worth living without your loved ones. For me, it really wouldn't be. So I'm grateful that I have my wife, Jenica, and my 3 kids. And again, I'm thankful for all of you, my friends and extended family. So have a happy Thanksgiving. And if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe, like this video if you liked it, leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Also make sure to share it, and I'll talk to you guys later.